Many years ago, in the land of Ukami, a village where farming was the major preoccupation of the people, where men took pride in large acres of land, a village where almost everyone was famous across border. There lived Osita Dimma, popularly known as Osita. Osita was very popular in the village of Ukami, not for the large expanse of land he possessed, nor for his great farming skills, but Osita was a famous gambler. Osita could gamble with anything. The villagers' greatest fear was for Osita not to gamble with his son one day, because Osita would go as far as the next village to play his games. Osita never believed in hard work. Osita believed so much that one can only get wealthy by luck. His beliefs was not awkward or new to anyone, because Osita had achieved a few things with his scheming games. One of Osita's most prized assets was his wife Ogechi. Osita had gotten Ogechi his wife in one of the most ridiculous ways, as Ogechi's father had lost a bet to Osita. So Ogechi had to follow Osita home as his wife, as her father Mmadu had used her daughter Ogechi for staking a bet. Osita, Ogechi's husband, was same with her father Mmadu. Ogechi hated it so much that she would have to put up with such a lazy personality for the rest of her life. Ogechi had always wished as a young girl that someday, when she eventually leave her father's house and would be married, she would get married to a rich man. But her dream was, however, cut short with her father's reckless lifestyle, sending her as a wife to a man who had won her father over a mere bet. After 5 years of Ogechi being Osita's wife, she finally resorted to her fate. Though Ogechi was hardworking, but she lacked patience. She really wanted to be rich, as all her hard work seems not to be paying off for her. Ogechi really wanted a better life, not just for herself, but for posterity, for her children. Ogechi had a son for Osita, and she was already pregnant for the second child. Her first pregnancy was a bit easy because that was the period Osita got lucky and made some money. But now it was different, as Osita had lost everything to the game, and more so, was now heavily indebted to a lot of people in the village. Osita was not really worried at first, because he thought that someday he would become fortunate again and his debts will become a thing of the past. But the fortune was not forthcoming, as Ogechi became really impatient with his numerous excuses. Ogechi had just one friend who stood by her, Adaora. Adaora was really a friend indeed. She would most times help Ogechi with foodstuff, and then would always tell her that things would get better. Thank you, my friend. I do not know what I would have done without you. Daora, Ogechi's friend, would always encourage her. After Ogechi put to bed, she became even more worried. Ogechi thought of ways that would get them out of poverty and make them have a better life. However, there was nothing she could really do. But for her children, she never wanted them to go through what she went through in the hands of her father. So, one day, Ogechi set out for 2 neighboring villages away from Okami village. Ogechi had heard of a witch doctor who granted people their wish. She had been stylishly asking around before setting to go search for the witch doctor. Ogechi never informed her close friend Adora nor her husband about where she was heading to. After all, she wasn't sure how things would turn out, so she told her husband that she wanted to go visit her maternal grandmother in the next village. Sita, hoping that when she returned, she would at least come with some farm produce, allowed her to go. Ogechi, getting to the village, was able to navigate her way to the witch doctor. "What brings you here?" the witch doctor asked with a coarse voice. "Please, I want my family to become rich," Ogechi answered, not really sure if her statements made any sense. The witch doctor, looking at her squarely, said, "No one gets rich just by wishing. Please, sir, help me. I am tired. I'm tired. I really want my life to become better. I want the life of my family to become better." Ogechi said, her face bowed to the ground. "Okay then, I can make that happen." Thank you, Ogechi, feeling excited. "But there is a price to pay. You have three options, and you must have to pick one," the witch doctor said in a terrifying tone. "You can either use one of your child, or you use your husband's manhood, or you bring me a young virgin." Immediately Ogechi heard those options, she started sweating. The options were difficult to choose from. It was more like choosing bad over bad. "I give you 10 minutes to make your choice," the witch doctor thundered. What should I do? I love my children and I'm doing this for them. I have never killed anyone before. Not to talk of getting a young virgin. At this point, the lesser evil was choosing Osita, her husband's manhood. After all, what was the use of it when they were living in abject poverty and in so much debt? Ogechi decided the option of using her husband's manhood. After all, I have my children already, Ogechi thought to herself. The witch doctor informed Ogechi that her husband would get rich but will never be able to satisfy her needs anymore. Also, she was not allowed to disclose the secret of her husband's wealth to him, or else she would get a repercussion she had never envisaged. Ogechi returned back home to her village, hoping that her husband would get rich and things become even better. Exactly 1 month after Ogechi's visit to the witch doctor, everything suddenly turned around for Osita, her husband, and he became really rich. Ogechi was the happiest as her dream finally came true. Ogechi and her family started living in affluence. The villagers wondered how Osita, who is a famous gambler, could acquire such wealth for himself. The more people tried to see what he did differently, the more they were left in a state of confusion, as they could not fathom how Osita acquired such wealth for himself. Osita was able to pay all his debts without even feeling it, because he had to pay a lot of people he was owing. Now, Osita had a lot of friends who would always troop into his house. Most of them were for benefits, while a few really wanted to get the secret of his riches. The truth was that Osita could not really pinpoint how he made a lot of money within a short period of time. Ogechi, Osita's wife, was now very cautious of her status as she only made friends with women she felt were the same class with her. Ogechi changed so much that even her best friend Adaora complained about the way she was treating her. Ever since your husband became rich, you have stopped talking to me. Or Ogechi, have I done something wrong to you? I don't understand. Why are you asking such a question? Or is it now by force to be your friend? See, I have denounced everything that have to do with poverty, and that includes you. Ogechi told her friend Adaora. Ah, really? Adaora said, feeling so surprised. She did not expect such words to come out of Ogechi's mouth. They have been friends from childhood, but now Ogechi made it clear to her that their friendship was over. Ogechi had been lost in her newfound life and never wanted to go back to where she was coming from. However, after the ecstasy of their current wealth had faded away a bit, that was when emotions started setting in. One day, Osita tried making out with his wife, but he could not feel anything at all. Ah, what is wrong? He thought to himself. He had never felt that way before in his entire life. But Osita shoved it away, giving excuses that he must have probably been exhausted from the days of strenuous activities. But it repeated itself over and over again. Ogechi, his wife, had already forgotten what the witch doctor had told her at first. However, when it became a recurrent happening, it dawned on Ogechi that she would never get to be intimate with her husband ever again. Now, Ogechi became worried. He thought it was definitely not going to be very easy and a smooth one, but she never knew that it would be this difficult. After several failed attempts for Osita to get intimate with his wife, Osita became more and more worried and anxious, wondering what must be the problem. Probably I am no longer attracted to Ogechi, my wife, Osita thought to himself. Osita had to devise a way to know if his thoughts were actually accurate. So he secretly started seeing another woman, and after 2 days, Osita got intimate with the secret woman. Osita's eyes lit up when he discovered that he was still very functional. My mind can rest now. There is actually nothing wrong with me. After that encounter with the secret woman, Osita could not still perform with Ogechi, his wife. So he stopped trying and concentrated on satisfying himself outside. Ogechi was unaware of the happenings around. She did not even know, and she was not worried after all. Herself and her husband Osita would pay for the consequences together. Unknown to her that she was in it alone, as Osita was busy flirting with other women. One day, Ogechi got a call from one of her friends, informing her that she just saw her husband with another woman. What? How is that even possible? Ogechi said in disbelief. But then again, she decided to probe and investigate Osita, her husband, to find out the truth. After much secret investigating, Ogechi found out that her husband was having an affair with other women and could perform properly. Ogechi was confused. How come? I do not understand. I thought he would never be able to. she thought to herself. The next day, Ogechi set out to go and visit the witch doctor to inform him of what she was currently facing. Getting to the witch doctor, she asked, "I thought you said he will not be able to." Ogechi said, "Yes, I did say so," the witch doctor reconfirmed. "But why is it that my husband has been able to meet with other women?" "Yes, that is true. You did not ask me in details when you came the last time. It is true. Your husband will be able to meet with other women except you." What? Ogechi was thrown in a state of disbelief and shock at the same time. "But you never told me. You never told me so," Ogechi asked. "Oh, you never really asked," the witch doctor said, looking at Ogechi's face squarely. Ogechi, on his way back home, reminisced on what she had just heard. "So, this is what I would have to face for the rest of my life. How will I put up for the rest of my life?" Ogechi thought to herself. But how come the witch doctor never gave a complete information to me? Ogechi thought to herself when she got back home. Or maybe, can I as well meet with other men? But Ogechi knew that was out of it, as it was against the tradition for any woman that is married to get intimate with a man that was not her husband. It was an abomination, and any woman who tries such was severely dealt with by the gods, and such women would instantly run mad. Ogechi did not know what to do. She could not afford to tell her husband what she had done. She was stuck. But then, going back to being poor again was not even an option for her, because now her children were living the best life she had ever wanted, which made Ogechi really happy, if that was the price she had to pay to stay wealthy. However, one day, Osita brought in another woman to come stay in the house. When Ogechi inquired more, Osita informed her that the new woman was his second wife. "How dare you bring another woman into our home?" Ogechi said angrily. "I am a traditional man and free to marry as many women as I can." "Really? Osita, really? You have the guts to marry a second wife after what I did for you?" "Ah, what did you do for me?" Osita questioned Ogechi. Looking at Osita, she could not say a word. She could not tell him the secret behind his riches. Ogechi became so devastated. She sacrificed for her husband to become wealthy. But now, Osita, her husband, was enjoying the wealth with another woman. What even made Ogechi more furious was that Osita's new wife spent money recklessly, and to top it all up, Ihioma, Osita's second wife, never accorded her any respect. She would talk to Ogechi however she liked. Ihioma was also an instigator. She would lie and pretend to be a victim, while Osita would always unleash his anger on Ogechi. Ogechi was fed up of the way she was being treated by her own husband in the house. She realized that she was the one at the losing end. "I cannot just watch Osita enjoy his life like this with that woman Ihioma. No, never. Let me see if she would not leave him when he becomes poor." Ogechi thought to herself. She was ready to undo whatsoever she had done in the first place. One day, Ogechi set out to go see the witch doctor to inform him that she was no longer interested in making her husband rich. On getting to the witch doctor's hut, a cold silence welcomed her. She searched around the hut, but the witch doctor was nowhere in sight. And then she saw a man coming towards the hut. Ogechi greeted him and asked for the witch doctor. "Oh, the witch doctor is dead. He passed away just 2 days ago," the man informed Ogechi. What? Ogechi froze. It was as if she was dreaming. "This can't be real. Ogechi, wake up," she thought to herself. But no, she was not dreaming. It was reality, as it was broad daylight. "Who will undo what I have done?" Ogechi thought to herself. Ogechi, what have you done? Ogechi got back home. She became very sober. She was sad at the same time, devastated. She was her own undoing. She wanted her family to be wealthy, but now the blessing came with a big curse. Ogechi could not stand her husband with another woman, as if Ihuoma, Osita's second wife, always threw it at her face whenever she was intimate with Osita. Ogechi knew that if she continued to live in the house, she might just as well become a murderer. She had already made one huge mistake in her life and was not ready to add another to it. So, one day, Ogechi packed all her belongings and left the house. She left the marriage. She took her children along with her. Needed to right her wrong and start afresh. She left, never to return. When Ogechi left the marriage, at first Osita was happy. At least he could now enjoy his life with his new wife. However, it did not take long before he started gambling again. It was just a matter of weeks as he lost all that he had acquired and he went back to his wretched state again. Remember, only the gift of God make rich and add no sorrow. Ogechi was impatient and wanted to play God. She never knew that her actions would backfire. Tell me what you've learned from this story in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Like this video please and share this video to your loved ones. Until I come your way again, for now, from me it is bye.